Hello, international students. This is Casey from the International Student Services Office at the Middlebury Institute of International Studies. Today, I'll be your guide through this orientation video that will help you understand renting, privacy, and conflict resolution while in Monterey, California. In the U.S., Americans like their privacy and they enjoy spending time at home. For most, it is critical to have a peaceful place to enjoy yourself. Depending on what your preferences are for your home environment, it is important to learn about the rental situations here in Monterey. In Monterey, there are two main types of rental situations. One, you'll either be a lodger, or two, you'll be a tenant. A lodger is a person who lives in a room in a house where the owner also lives. A tenant is a person who rents or leases a rental unit from a landlord. If you enter an agreement with a landlord to rent as a lodger, you will be living in the same house as the owner and possibly the owner's family and maybe even other lodgers. This is a common living situation in Monterey, and although you have some rights as a lodger, you can expect to have less privacy. The law of California states that in a lodger rental situation, the owner can enter all areas occupied by the lodger and has overall control of the house. Landlords can generally enter the room of a lodger living in the landlord's house, but a landlord may not harass lodgers, take their possessions, or engage in otherwise illegal behavior. If you decide to consider a lodger rental situation, make sure to discuss issues related to personal privacy with your landlord before signing a lease. If privacy is important to you, it will be best to find a situation where you are a tenant. A tenant obtains the right to the exclusive use and possession of the rental unit during the lease or rental period. In California, every tenant has the right to privacy and the right to live in the rental property in quiet enjoyment, and this right extends to all the rental premises included in the lease. In addition to your right to quiet enjoyment as a tenant, a landlord may not enter your rental unit unless one of the following has occurred. In the case of emergencies, to make necessary or agreed upon repairs, to show the premises to prospective tenants or purchasers, to make pre-departure inspections when the current tenant is moving, to inspect smoke detectors when it is evident the tenant has abandoned the premises, or pursuant to a court order. In addition, if a landlord wants to enter your rental property, they must give 24 hours written notice. The landlord may only enter during normal business hours, which is generally Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., and all notices must include the date, approximate time, and the reason for entering the rental unit. Next, we'll move on to dealing with conflicts that arise in rental situations. For example, what should you do if your landlord does not respect the guidelines of California law or the specifications agreed upon in your lease? Your first step should be to try to solve the problem on your own. Before confronting the issue, figure out exactly what your issues are and what you want to make happen in order to make your living arrangements more pleasant. Then, set up a meeting with your landlord to discuss the problems. When it comes time to meet, make sure to be courteous and patient. Never resort to personal attacks, yelling, or any behavior that may result in negative outcomes. Allow the landlord to express any of his opinions first, and actively listen to their comments. Afterwards, you can share your feelings on the issue and hopefully come to an agreement. If an agreement is made, make sure to get it in writing. If you are unable to solve your issue by talking to your landlord, or if you don't feel comfortable talking to your landlord in the first place, there are some resources available in the Monterey area that serve to mediate and solve landlord and tenant issues. One such resource is the Conflict Resolution and Mediation Center of Monterey County. They have trained staff that can facilitate a discussion between yourself and the landlord and work to see that both sides are able to come to an agreement. In addition, this center hosts workshops specifically related to landlord-tenant issues. Contact the numbers provided to find out their schedule of workshops. Another resource is the Superior Court of California in Monterey. They also offer mediation services, but it should be expected that these services could cost a considerable amount of money. Last but not least, The final resource you could use should be saved for only extreme cases where no other options exist. California Rural Legal Assistance is an organization that offers free to low-cost legal assistance if you have to take legal action against your landlord. The California Courts Self-Help Center can also guide you through the legal process and direct you to a list of other legal advisors. I hope that through this orientation video you now have a better understanding of the types of living arrangements you could encounter here in Monterey, and that you now have a better understanding of which one best fits your preferred lifestyle. If you have further questions about renting in Monterey, or if an issue arises during your stay here, feel free to email me at cpenn@miss.edu, or you can call my office number at 831-867-5309, or you can stop by my office in the Student Services building. My door is always open.